Russian tank. All our writing's in Russian. We didn't just accidentally cross into Russia, did we? No, thankfully. We've just crossed into Slovakia, and this place is awesome. Keep watching, and we'll show you why. And just like that, it's goodbye Poland, hello Slovakia. A brand new country for us. We've never been here before. So come along, join us as we cruise through Slovakia on our way to Czech Republic. We're just visiting our first town in Slovakia, Bardejov. This is Bardejov, a small town in northeastern Slovakia with a big history. It first appeared in records in 1214 and later became a free royal town, meaning it was directly under the king's protection and had the right to govern itself and hold markets, thriving on trade between Hungary and Poland. The old square is almost perfectly preserved, surrounded by Gothic and Renaissance houses, a 16th century town hall, and the St Giles Basilica. The town walls are still standing too. Since 2000, the historic centre's been listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's that time of night trying to find somewhere to camp. Not having much luck. There's been spots in town. We didn't really want to stay in town. We don't have the luxury of the midnight sun anymore either. It gets dark, I don't know, about 9:15 now. We've got an hour or so to find somewhere. Oh, these roads are crazy, just bouncy.
Things we do to miss motorways.
Looking for a camping spot. It's always down the ruttedest dirt roads we can find. I don't know why. It's because at the end of these rutted dirt roads are usually the best campsites, and tonight's was no exception. This is it for the night. Castle wear. I'll have a midnight walk, hike around the castle. This is Plavec Castle, which was built back in the 1200s to guard the route from Hungary to Poland. It burned down in the 1800s, but the ruins are still amazing, with great views over the valley and river, especially at sunset. Camp just down there. Good morning, welcome to another day in Slovakia. That was a great night's sleep at the castle there. Heading on today, it's raining, so might have to find some rainy day stuff to do. This medieval town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but where is everyone? In most European countries, a place like this would be packed with tourists, but here in Slovakia, it feels like we've got the whole town to ourselves. We're exploring the streets of Levoca. The basilica was impressive from the outside, but closed for the day. So we just wandered around, soaking up the town's atmosphere. Then something caught our eye. High up on a hill, a church looking down over the town. We had no idea what it was, but it looked too good to ignore. But we'll come to that shortly. there's more of this town to explore first. A few streets later, we stumbled upon the Church of the Holy Spirit. And that church on the hill we saw earlier, turns out it's called Mariánska Hora, or Marian Hill in English. It's dedicated to the Virgin Mary, who according to legend, visited her cousin Elizabeth here. It's one of Slovakia's oldest pilgrimage sites. People have been walking up here for more than 750 years. But we took the easy way up and let Birdie do all the work. So this is the church we were looking up at from that town down below. After that, we headed back into town and just camped in the town's car park for the night. We'll need a good night's sleep because tomorrow we're visiting one of the biggest things we'll see in Slovakia. Good morning and welcome to a beautiful sunny day in Slovakia. The rain is gone, you can see the mountains. We're just going to go see a castle this morning. Come along, it's going to be fun. Oh wow, just seen a first shot of the castle. It's huge! Up on the hill there. That's where we're going. This is Spis Castle, one of Europe's largest castle complexes, sprawling over 4 hectares. That's huge, but that's not even the best part.
And I've got to scale that wall to get in.
It's a pretty impressive looking castle, isn't it? Because what really amazes me is that people have been drawn to this exact hill since 5000 BC, way before any of these walls even existed. Bertie down there. Wall, moat. Another wall. Geez, they were paranoid here. They didn't want people getting in. These walls, towers and gates, they weren't just built to look impressive. These defences were designed to withstand full-on sieges. There's the town, and there's the road we were driving and looking at the castle from. And now we're in the castle.
How on earth warriors in olden days actually attacked these castles? I'm puffed out and I've only just got to the bottom of the wall.
Ooh, spooky in here. Oh, it's all dripping. Look, it's all dripping. Brick lapses, Mike. I don't know how well it was built back in the olden days.
Most of it's standing after 800 years. I think it's quite well built.
That's just in case people didn't get my sarcasm. Sometimes people think I'm stupid, but most of the time I'm just joking. I probably am stupid too, but I do joke a lot with a deadpan face. The castle started in the early 12th century, built as a border fort for the Kingdom of Hungary. For centuries, this castle protected the land. But then, in 1780, a fire destroyed it. Nobody knows why. Was it accidental? Deliberate? I guess we'll never know. All the money there. Grab some money. At least they've got lights in these ones. A bit like Caesar's castle, but it's narrow. They've got lights in this one, not just a candle. Dunny, anybody? Really narrow. I wouldn't want to be bigger than I am. Being small has its advantages. And we're at the top. Oh, we're not. Shoot. Holy moly, there's the money down the bottom there that we saw.
Oh, mind your head.
Still going up, mind your head. Then there's the modern steps. See, people will be here in 1,000 years' time visiting this, and these will be the ancient steps. These fancy wooden steps. They'll be saying, why did they walk up steps? Why don't they just teleport up there? That's what they'll be saying in 1,000 years' time, when this building's still standing.
Just look at the view from up here. You certainly see any army coming from miles around.
Don't touch in lightning storms. Lightning rod. It's a beautiful flag. After exploring the castle, we wandered around the castle grounds. We followed the path along the ancient walls, peering over the edge and taking in the sweeping views of the surrounding countryside.
So see the arches were long boats.
Mike's obsessed with archers and stuff. He was a Viking in a past life, or in his ancestry. There's definitely Vikingness in his ancestry. But you know what? The absolute best part of wandering Spis Castle has to be the little critters running around the grounds. Just saw what I thought was a rat down there, but it looks like a little chipmunk or something, like a little, don't know what they are in Slovakia. We'll have to find out. Oh, I hope he doesn't get in our van. He's cute.
So the J there on the ground represents an important defence of the gate. It's a barbican.
So over time it fell into disrepair, and that's just a reconstruction. So that's interesting to me for two reasons. First, it's a J, that's my name. And second, I used to live in the Barbican in London. Imagine in the olden days being on defence here and someone was attacking the castle, and you'd be up here with your bow and arrow and be poking it out this little hole here, and you'd be firing arrows down aimlessly. Occasionally you might hit someone, occasionally you won't. Imagine when the war's all done and dusted, you've got to go and collect all those arrows all the way down there. You might even have to take them out of dead people. How gross would that be? What a job. Geez, I'm glad I didn't live in those days. So I'm kind of a little bit intrigued. So they have probably someone on the watchtower, then they send down the people firing the arrows. Would they then have special arrow collectors? Maybe they had a special people that weren't very good at archery to collect the arrows. Wonder if it was a different job. You never hear about these things, do you? I'd be aiming at people, but then not aiming because I wouldn't want to hit anybody. That'd be me if I was a shooter.
And the holes along the wall there is where the floor level was. There's 1, 2, 3 different floors. One there, one up there, and another one up there.
Here it is, that little critter we saw. European ground squirrel. And it's just a European ground squirrel, common rodent. Basically is a rat. Cute though, eh? A cute rat. Mind you, rats are probably quite cute if you look at them. It'd be one thing going to collect arrows, wouldn't it? Another thing going to collect cannonballs. Whoa. We actually have no idea where we're going. We're just driving aimlessly down this road. There's no internet, so we have no idea. I can't even see the road on my maps. We drove for hours along this narrow forest road. No signs, no villages, just trees closing in and rain tapping on the windshield. There's a big drop off down the side there. It's quite scary looking. Honestly, we had no idea if this road even went anywhere. But just when we were sure we'd have to turn back, we reached the top, and suddenly, service bars. Turns out the road did go somewhere. Straight back to the main road. Once we finally hit the main road, the new mission was simple: find somewhere to camp for the night. But nothing's ever simple. It's that time of night. We're looking for somewhere to camp. Main road just there. We found this little spot here. Not really feeling the vibe though, so I might keep on moving. It's quite noisy with the road just there. And it's not early, it's only 6 o'clock. It's not like somewhere I want to sit around for a few hours. I was still looking for a place. We went up to the castle, which was supposed to be a good place for camping, but they're setting up for some medieval fair, so we couldn't park there. It's 7:30, we've got another hour of daylight. Something usually turns up, just gonna hope for the best. There's not a lot around here. After being turned away from the castle, we decided to take the back roads. Big mistake. The road was a mess. Ruts, potholes, and washouts everywhere. We could have walked faster. We thought about backtracking, but the road was too narrow to even turn around. It was pretty painful, but after a few kilometres we made it to a little village, and the road smoothed out after that, and we were able to continue. After a few dead ends and a lot of driving, we parked up in a random town car park. Not exactly the great outdoors, but it turned out to be a pretty cool town. You'll see what I mean tomorrow. We awoke in the town of Banksa Bystrica, which is a really nice town nestled in the mountains. The The old town was all cobblestones and colourful buildings. Fountains splashed in the square, and people sat in cafes enjoying their morning coffee. There was also a museum here about the Slovak National Uprising, which I think would have been really interesting. But it wasn't in English, so we didn't bother. But there were some old tanks to look at, and this was good enough for me. We then continued our drive up towards another castle, but this was no ordinary castle. It was a proper fairy tale one, and looked more like it belonged in a Disney film than in the middle of Slovakia. This is a Bojnice Castle. The place has been rebuilt a few times over the centuries, but the current look is due to a rich count in the 1800s, clearly going for a theatrical vibe. It might have been nice to look around, but it was a Saturday and the streets were crawling with people. So we just looked at it from the outside and headed on, along another windy road. I'm having so much trouble finding suitable camping spots in Slovakia. The last 2 nights have been in city car parks, and we really wanted to find somewhere in the shade, somewhere we could just sit, do some washing and chill out. But there was nowhere to be found, not even a camping ground, so we continued on, and it looked like we might be heading to Czech Republic to find somewhere to camp. We hope we've shown you why we think Slovakia is so awesome. Stick around, because next time we're heading to the Czech Republic for the next adventure, and to find somewhere to sleep.